Okay. Call the meeting to order. Will and please rise for opening prayer and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Our most kind, gracious Lord, Father God, we come to you today. Ask you for wisdom as we lead and serve this community, and bless us to follow you and give you all the honor and glory as we lead and serve this community. In the name of praying that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Here.
Bunch,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Phillips,
Here.
Templin.
Here. Okay, approval of July 18th City Council meeting minutes. Do I have any discussion in regards to last month's minutes? Any corrections or changes that need to be made? There will be no discussion in regards to the July 18th minutes. Do I have an motion to approve the minutes as written?
Make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Councilman Bunch made the motion, Councilman Gillum seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Yes.
Phillips,
Aye.
Templin.
All right. Recognize citizens, guests, and visitors. Do I have anyone to come before the board? No one to come before the board.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's none. Mayor's report. Committee reports. Planning Commission, your meeting's not till the 20th. Recreation was today. You want to report?
Yeah, we finalized, we actually had a quorum today, so November 1st, from 6 to 8 p.m., we're gonna have a trunk or treat fall festival. We were gonna try to do it before Halloween, but it's the middle of the week. We figured that the Friday right after Halloween would be best. We'll have the usual stuff down there as we have in the past. Got the scoreboard up. Give Mike a big hand on that one. He did a lot of work on that.
Yeah, those.
A lot of people.
Yeah. and I'm
Yes,
not
there's.
I want to call some names out, but I can't call them all
Yeah.
because I don't know them all. There were so many people involved in this. There was so much work done. And they did. It looks great. Apparently everyone's happy with it.
We got Falcons off.
So
happy.
the ADA grant for the ball field, we were approved for it. I think Monday is when we figure out how much we're awarded. So that long story short, bleachers, new press box, new bathrooms and concession stand, and some other things, maybe, I think a new fence, right?
The walking track,
So-
redo the walking track.
Yeah, that's our goal. So we just don't know how much we're gonna get from the ADA grant, but.
And we don't know how much we're going to be able to afford
Right.
to get.
Exactly. So I mean,
This is fluid.
yeah, if we were approved 750,000 and we spent 750,000, we would have to come up with half of that because it's 50-50 grant. So we can't just spend 750 and get another 750 because obviously I don't think we could afford a payment on 750,000 right now. So, but with that said, it's approved, so that's a good thing. We're working on, or Mike is working on a Blue Cross Blue Shield grant for the splash pad, and that will pay to completely install a new playground. So, it'll be like right beside the splash pad, so.
hopefully we will be successful getting that grant. I think that'd be a great addition.
The city has been working down there around that walking trail, filling in. Looks awesome. It does, it
They
looks
worked all
awesome.
day today.
They did, and worked the biggest part of the day yesterday. I took yesterday off, heard them down there about all day. It looks awesome.
No, they were cleaning, there was a big mess made putting up the scoreboard. That, they pretty much got all that cleaned up. Okay, general government report, city manager's report.
The assessment is finished on the funeral home. One thing they assessed is they need to do more assessment.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
I have reached out to Lydia to see exactly what it is they found. She has not got back with me yet. Also, fall cleanup will be October, the month of October. The sewer project, it is underway. They are working right now over next to the elementary school on 4th Street, and they're doing it in the evening because they've got to shut 4th Street down. So, be aware of that. And then we were approved also for the 1.3 million for the sewer project.
Right.
So, and then tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if you can, where they had the charity Saturday for the Montague family, they're going to present the check to them tomorrow at 1 o'clock here at the fire hall.
And they was wanting chamber to do that, right?
Yeah, I done told Chamber. And one other thing, as we go along, the other thing, I'll get with it.
Okay. Go ahead.
On the sewer project, I was, just to kind of maybe update the citizens, as they're moving, because they're quickly moving from location to location.
Yes.
When they move, does that mean that they are done working on that sewer line in that area? Or are they gonna come back and do something else?
That's a good question.
Well, they'll have to come back and patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, I'm talking.
As far,
like with
I
the
think as
sewer
far
line.
as the sewer line goes, yes, they would be
should
done.
be, when they transition from a particular area, they should be finished there. We're meeting with them tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
And like where they're actually digging it all up is like the worst parts of the
Yes.
sewer system. So, but in between those locations, there's also sewer rehab
I mean,
that we can't see, right?
they could come back through and do pipe bursting. So they're coming in, one crew's coming in fixing things, and then another crew's coming in doing pipe bursting. Another crew's coming in setting manholes. So yes, they could come back, another crew could come back and do something else.
Well, an example of how this is going, on Lawson Street, going down here behind City Hall, all the way to Ball's Diner. They were supposed to be doing pipe bursting from 3rd Street north, and the pipe bursting didn't work out. They had to completely open the street up and dig it all out and replace the line up through there. So you're probably gonna see more of that.
Yeah, and
Places.
replacing the line costs more than the pipe bursting.
Because they got uncovered.
Yeah,
But some of the places that I went out and watched them, God, we've got a mess in the ground. It's town, they fixed a lot. Nothing else there. Monthly sewer adjustments, $3,250. I noticed last month was pretty high too. Got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 adjustments. Randy Smith, 928 South Main, 146 for a pool. Bridget Seaver, Watt Street, $54 for a pool. Danielle Kennedy, 8th Street, had a leak, 311. Melissa Atkins Shelby, leak 46. Mike Lovely had a leak up on Alley 55. Creekwood Apartments over on 4th Street, $783 leak. Church of God on Atkins Street had a leak of $732. Houston Carroll on 6th Street, ooh, that hurt, had a leak of $1,123 for a total of $3,250. Do I have a motion to approve the sewer adjustment as described?
I make the motion, sir.
Okay. Councilman Gillens made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Councilwoman Phillips seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillen.
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Green.
Yes.
Phillips.
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Monthly water loss, 48.25%. Considering our in-house usage and what they mean by in-house usage, that's what we use at the sewer plant for processed water. And this is something we've discussed it before. This makes us look really bad in the eyes of the state. But, as I said, what is it, 16% of this is water we've not lost, we use it. We use it to run the sewer plant with. The state doesn't have a, you would, I don't know how to explain this.
State
The
looks
state
at
should
water,
have a line
water,
item that gives us, okay, this is processed, this is used water, it's not lost, so it shouldn't be on your loss records, but they don't. They stick it on our loss records, which causes us problems. And what we've been discussing this, we're gonna have to actually do it. We want to put a pump in over at the sewer plant where our outflow goes to the creek. This water's treated. Theoretically, you can get a glass full of it and drink it. I wouldn't do that, but this is clean water. We're discharging it into a public waterway. Now, we put a pump in there, and use that water for our processed water instead of using water that we're having to buy. I've been looking at this, I've been dragging my feet, I guess, for the last 2 years because I've always thought it's a problem of what we're having to pay for water that we just turn right around and we squirt it in these sewer tanks. It's about $5,000 a year is what we actually spend on it. It's not the cost of what we pay to purchase this water, it's the bad light it puts us in Nashville that's really causing us the problems. We can probably put a system in for less than $5,000. We've got to do this. We've got to get this in there to get this apparent loss down to an acceptable point.
I think you said it wrong. The in-house is 31% when we do the sewer water. It's 48% is without the sewer water.
Without the sewer water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the state looks at water purchased and water sold.
And that water's not sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just shuffling numbers around, but we would have to buy that. We would have to take money out of the general fund, and we would have to bill ourselves.
Yes.
The Rocky Top Utility District would bill the city of Rocky Top for the water used at the sewer plant, and then we would be squared
Yes.
with the state.
Mhm.
I still think we don't need to purchase water to use for cleaning the sewer plant with, when we've already got water there. Okay. Police report.
Thank you, Mayor Tim. For the calendar month of July, the police department made 25 arrests, conducted 175 traffic stops. Out of those stops, they issued 59 traffic citations. They wrote 53 incident reports and responded to a total of 537 calls for service. It's up a bit. A lot of that is also including the self-initiated activity, which would be the traffic stops and investigations by officer that they decide to conduct, as opposed to one of our citizens calling in for an officer to respond. We went on one non-fatal overdose, and it was over prescription medication. It's the only one for the month of July. For our personnel, Deputy Chief McGee is on a medical restriction. He's taking care of administrative duties in the police department, and there are plenty of them, and we're getting a lot of work out of him while he's on that assignment. Our shift coverage 24/7. We've got overtime offered to our officers on the weekends to get a little bit more presence, especially with it being summer. For our grants, we've spent $220 from our Violent Crime Intervention Funding Grant for this fiscal year. There's 2024, most of it for training is all that's left over on that grant. And Deputy Chief McGee's researching USDA grant for vehicles. We're talking to Shane over at East Tennessee Development District. He helped us out with the VEST grant that we renewed a few months ago, and some others. The USDA grant, that's one that purchased the Durangos a few years ago for the city.
Yeah.
Internal procedures in equipment, we're continuing to work on our evidence over there to get it streamlined, modernized, and functioning better. We publish policies for several important areas, such as response to sexually oriented crimes, dealing with children, some other things like that, to standardize how we investigate those cases. Accreditation. If you'll remember, back in June, we were accepted into the state accreditation program. It's got milestones. We've got one coming up in September. The mandatory part of that is to assign an accreditation manager. Deputy Chief McGee got voluntold for that. And non-mandatory parts of that we're also working on is comparing our current policies and procedures that we have, that's both within the police department and the city's policies, to the 170-something standards that the program has, to make sure that we're meeting those standards and that they're reflected in our written orders. For training, Sergeant Perkins attended a firearm instructor school on the VCIF grant funds. Previously, what we had done for firearms training was to lean on other agencies with their certified firearms instructors. Now we'll be able to do our things in-house, as well as help out some other agencies for them to come to Rocky Top for some training. Deputy Chief McGee and I went to TACP for their annual conference and attended some training there here just last week. Cases of significance, we had some cases of fraud with debit cards. The majority of them, they weren't online scams like we see a lot. There were people trusting others with their debit or credit cards and their PIN numbers. And then those people overextended what they were expected to do. So I would encourage our citizens to be careful about who you trust your cards with, because while they may be helping the person out, they could also take advantage of them. We did have one case for counterfeit currency. It was just a poorly made copy, I believe, of a bill that was passed at one of our local businesses. So that'd be something also for our citizens to watch out for. Off script for a minute. Wednesday morning, we went with THP and our fire department and other crews for a serious crash up here on I-75. Some people passing through, unfortunately, were involved in a serious crash. And I want to talk about our fire department. This makes the 4th fire fatality that they've went to this year. They've also struggled with, they had one of their members, seriously injured off-duty in an accident, and they still get out here and work. Chief Braden's people, they are dedicated. They are making do with, like we all are, with struggling with their finances and the equipment that we have, doing a great job for our city. But they've been through it this year, so I really want to brag on them and to express my admiration for their professionalism and just how solid that they are getting out and doing everything. Your police department, we're supporting them everything that we can. When they go on things, we're going with them, and we get to see that job that they do every day. And I'm not sure the citizens may know that, but I want to reinforce that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And finally, wrap up with budget. I didn't have numbers at the time that I published my report, but processed documents from City Recorder were at 7.11% expended, and with 1 month into the fiscal, it's 8.33%. So we're progressing as we should.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
The mayor can speak for this. I've lived here mostly for 63 years. I've never seen the fire fatalities.
No. I worked full-time here on the fire department for 8 years. Worked a fire fatality in Clinton during that period of time. Never had a fire fatality here. They didn't have one until like 94. It's the first one they'd had in years and years. It's crazy.
Yes, sir.
That many
It is.
in that short a period of time.
It is. And it's been a tough year for them, but they've been sticking to it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, fire department monthly report for July. They had 40 EMS calls, 1 structure fire, 1 vehicle fire, 4 false alarms, 3 hazmat incidents, 1 lift assist, 5 motor vehicle accidents, 3 service calls, mutual aid call, grass fire, and set up 1 landing zone for Lifestar for a total of 63 calls for the month of July, which puts them at 343 calls for the year. Okay, Public Works report. Man, brush is up. They hauled 60 tons of brush in July.
I think I got those backwards.
Huh?
I think I got those backwards. I think that's supposed to be garbage.
Yeah, that looks weird because 17 tons of garbage, that's not, yeah, okay. We probably hauled 17 and a half tons of garbage, brush, and 60 tons of garbage. Garbage is up. We were running in the 40s. They hauled dirt from over at the Sharp property to the shop building the pad up there on the west side of Public Works building. Doing a lot of mowing and weed eating. It doesn't look like it, but they have been. They mow it and they weed eat it, and then next week, it's waist high again. Worked on 4th Street, patching holes. Now, Morgan's over there tearing new holes in the streets. That's the way it is. They took down the old scoreboard and assisted in installing the new scoreboard. Did a great job over there. Water and sewer, 11 service line leaks, 4 main leaks. 3 of them were caused by the sewer contractors. Jetted 4 sewer lines, replaced 30 feet of 4-inch sewer line. Been doing a lot of 811 locates, which means they have to go out and mark the street for Morgan. They treated 12,466,000 of wastewater, 1,000 gallons of wastewater. And also, they did the work on the water tank. I want to call out Ralph Smith and Fabian Spears for their assistance to get power up to the water tank. Huh?
Ralph Jones,
Ralph Jones, what did I say, Ralph?
Smith.
Ralph Smith. Ralph Jones too, yeah. For their assistance in getting power up to the water tank. They'd had a little solar panel up there that powered, we have telemetry equipment up there with electronic valves, and that Anderson County, that's how they feed water and fill our tank, and know when to shut the line off and when to turn it back on. The solar panel and the batteries it's been a mess ever since they've had it. It shuts off, it drops offline. So we ran dedicated power, underground power in from the bottom of the hill up to the tank to get that online. And that's something just to, for information, we're gonna do the same thing at the tank up on Summit in the near future to get it back online and get it working just like the Bank Street tank. We've got some growing pains now with the Bank Street tank, but we'll get through that. Ordinances and resolutions. First reading of new ordinances. Ordinance 590. An ordinance to amend the Rocky Top Municipal Code by revising water and sewer titles. Okay, this is where we messed up when we left the commercial statement off. And we're fixing that. Whereas Title 18, Section 1101 of the Rocky Top Municipal Code of Ordinances sets the various rates, fees, and charges for water and sewer provided to the city of Rocky Top. The only change here is under, which is the addition of the standard rate for commercial users.
Yes,
I'm correct there, right?
yes.
That is the only change, is adding that standard monthly rates for commercial users. Is there any discussion in regards to ordinance number 590? Okay, there be no discussion in regards to amending ordinance number 590. Do I have a motion to approve the first reading?
Make the motion to approve the first reading,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Green's made the motion, sorry, Bunch has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Councilwoman Phillips is seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum. Bunch.
Aye.
Green.
No.
Phillips.
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Okay, ordinance 591. An ordinance for the city of Rocky Top amending the state tax for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024. As a result of property reappraisals pursuant to state statutes found in section 67, TAC 5, TAC 1601 of the Tennessee Code annotated, a procedure was approved of a State Board of Equalization on May 23rd, 2024 to completely adjust the city property tax rates to accommodate different levels of assessment within the city lying in 2 or more counties. The process of reappraisal is intended to keep property tax assessment stable even though property values may increase. This year was a reappraisal year by Campbell County. Anderson County will be next year. This is for the Campbell County section of town that are in the city of Rocky Top. The State Board of Equalization determined that the new certified tax rate for the Anderson County portion, that's not right. That should say Campbell County portion. Is that right? No, okay. Should have read the whole thing. For the Anderson County portion of Rocky Top is $2.755, and for Campbell County portion of Rocky Top, it is $1.1668 per thousand assessment. The mayor and the city council of the city of Rocky Top desire to comply with state statutes and regulations set by the State Board of Equalization. Do I have any discussion in regards to this?
So is this to amend the budgeted tax rate from the $2 per thousand
Yes.
to now $2.07
This is what the board, the equalization, we didn't know Campbell County was going through their equalization. We didn't receive anything. We thought it was next year, and so we got a letter from the state saying your rate doesn't match Campbell County's rate. Well, we got to digging and called the property assessor in Anderson County and said, well, he was going through a reelection and sickness and stuff, and they forgot to send us the paperwork.
So this is just squaring us up.
Yes.
This isn't
And this
raising
is
the rate.
what,
This
and
isn't
the
lowering
reason
the rate.
Anderson
This-
County's went up is Campbell County's went down, and to equal it out, Anderson County's went up. This is what the lady at the state told us. Next year, when Anderson County does theirs, Anderson County's will drop, and then,
Campbell counties will even back up.
yeah, it'll even back up. But if we leave it at $2 for Campbell County, it's doubling their tax rate.
$2 for Campbell County or
Yeah.
Anderson County?
Well, it's $2 for Campbell County now, and it's also $2 for Anderson County. If we leave it at $2 and don't do anything with Campbell County,
we're
it's
lowering-
we're lowering Campbell County's.
We're lowering it to $1.16 for the Campbell
Yeah.
County. Campbell County.
But it'll
Senate.
stay,
And we're basically
what it
raising
was.
it 8 cents.
Yeah.
On the or no, per thousand
Yes.
for Anderson County.
To equal out what we have put in for the taxes that we would receive, property taxes we receive. That's what we were told by the state.
So is this going to stay the same next year?
No, because the Board of Equalization will do Anderson counties next year, and so Anderson counties, your value of your home will go up, so your tax rate will go down. So it'll go down. Anderson counties will.
But what
Your
about-
tax bill will stay the
What about
same.
Campbell County?
Campbell counties
Will
Will it
increase
go-
next year
will increase next year.
to equal it out.
They're
Yeah.
gonna probably see
So it
their
equals it back out
8
again.
cents or something. Figuring it back out. Unless we decide to raise, which hopefully we won't have to do that. Any other discussion in regards to ordinance 591? Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 591 on the first reading?
I make the motion, sir.
Mr. Gillens made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Ms. Phillips has seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Yes.
Phillips,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye.
Now, now we need to have a special called meeting, probably on the 19th, because we need to get this ordinance passed, so they can get the tax stuff out.
Got to be out by 1st of September.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So probably have a public hearing on the 19th at 5:45, and then special called meeting at 6 o'clock.
The 19th of next week,
Yeah, that'd be Monday.
I'll be in New Jersey.
I can't be here either.
Do you have to have 4 or 3 for that quorum?
Gotta have 3.
3.
Can you be here, Matt?
What time? 6?
6.
Okay.
Jeff, you're off Monday. You gotta be here. And I'll lay you out. Got a meeting Tuesday too, don't
Yeah, planning commission's Tuesday.
Going to Monday.
Second.
next week. Okay, next ordinance, ordinance number 592. An ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Rocky Top by amending Article 5, Section 408, Tac 4, Tac 2, real estate signs. Whereas the city, Rocky Top City Council, in accordance with Section 13, Tac 7, Tac 204, the Tennessee Code Annotated, may amend the zoning code, the zoning ordinance of the city of Rocky Top. Whereas at its July 16, 2024 meeting, the Rocky Top Planning Commission recommended that the zoning ordinance of the city of Rocky Top, Tennessee be amended by changing the permitted size of real estate signs from 32 square feet to 16 square feet in area. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Rocky Top, Tennessee, the section is amended as follows. Section 408.4.2, real estate signs. Signage noting for sale, for lease, for rent shall be permitted provided it is not illuminated. Only one sign of not more than 16 square feet shall be permitted on each land parcel. 16 square feet, that's still a pretty good size
It's a half a sheet of plywood.
sign. Yeah, that's still a pretty good size sign. Do I have any discussion in regards to first reading of ordinance number 592? There be no discussion, do I have a motion to approve on first reading ordinance 592?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Bunch made the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Gill seconded, call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Yes.
Phillips,
Aye.
Templin.
All right. Do I have any unfinished business to come before the board?
Don't forget to mention the Veterans Breakfast Saturday morning.
Veterans Breakfast Saturday morning at 8:30 at First Baptist Church.
I might be able to make that one.
Got SOS and grits. Any new business to come before the board? Billy, you came in late. Do you have anything?
Being nosy,
Okay. Be nosy. Be nosy.
I gotta stay on the radar.
There be no new business to come before the board? Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bunch has made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second motion.
Ms. Phillips is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Where'd you get you? Rock.
That's a special rock.
I like that.